Hello everybody, this is Refresh and I'm here to bring you a battle between two of the 2019 Challenger decks. We have United Assault over here and Lightning Aggro over there. We're going to be playing the best of three and we'll be using sideboarding in between the games. We'll go ahead and get started by rolling to see who goes first. United Assault rolls a 7. Lightning Aggro rolls a 7. We'll roll again. Lightning Aggro rolls a 3. United Assault rolls a 5. United Assault will opt to go first. We'll draw a 7. United Assault draws a Sky Marcher Aspirant, Adanto Vanguard, Plains, Adanto Vanguard, Plains, Plains, and Legion's Landing. I think this is a fine aggressive start. We'll keep it. Lightning Aggro draws. Gets a Fanatical Firebrand, Wizard's Lightning, Banefire, Mountain, Gitu Lava Runner, Runaway Steamkin, and Mountain. I think this is a fine aggressive start. We'll keep it. United Assault will play a Plains. We'll tap the Plains, and we will play a Sky Marcher Aspirant. It is a 2/1 Vampire Soldier with Ascend. Sky Marcher Aspirant has flying as long as you have the City's Blessing. And then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro draws, gets a Mountain. We'll play the Mountain. We'll tap the Mountain. We'll play the Fanatical Firebrand. It is a 1/1 Goblin Pirate with Haste, and you can tap and sacrifice it to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. We'll immediately tap and sacrifice it to deal 1 damage to the Sky Marcher Aspirant. The Sky Marcher Aspirant will die. And then Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets an Ajani's Pridemate. United Assault will play a Plains. We'll tap both of these and we will play the Adanto Vanguard. This is a 1/1 Vampire Soldier, and as long as it's attacking, it gets +2/+0. You can pay 4 life to make it indestructible until end of turn. And then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Mountain. We'll play the Mountain. We'll tap both the Mountains and play a Runaway Steamkin. This is a 1/1 Elemental whenever you cast a red spell. If it has fewer than 3 +1/+1 counters, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Remove 3 +1/+1 counters from it and add 3 red mana. And then Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a Healer's Hawk. United Assault will play a Plains. United Assault will attack with the Adanto Vanguard for 3. Lightning Aggro will take 3 and go to 17. United Assault will spend 2 mana and play another Adanto Vanguard. We'll spend 1 mana and play the Legion's Landing. This is a legendary enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. We'll use this to represent the 1/1 vampire. And then when you attack with 3 or more creatures, transform Legion's Landing, and then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Fanatical Firebrand. We will play a Mountain, and then for 1 mana, we'll play a Gitu Lava Runner, which is a 1/2 human wizard. As long as there are 2 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, Gitu Lava Runner gets +1/+0 and has haste. This will pump the Runaway Steamkin to a 2/2. And then we will tap 1 more mana and play a Fanatical Firebrand, which will pump the Runaway Steamkin to a 3/3. And then we will spend 1 more mana to play Wizard's Lightning. It is an instant. It costs 2 less if you control a wizard, which we do, the Gitu Lava Runner, and it deals 3 damage to any target. We'll deal the damage to the 1/1, and that will pump the Steamkin up to a 4/4. The 1/1 dies. And then Lightning Aggro will attack with the Runaway Steamkin for 4. United Assault will take 4 and go to 16. And Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a Plains. We will play the Plains. United Assault will attack with both Adanto Vanguards for 6. Lightning Aggro will block 1 of the Adanto Vanguards and then tap and sack it to deal 1 damage to the other Adanto Vanguard. United Assault will pay 4 life to go to 12 so that the Adanto Vanguard doesn't die. Lightning Aggro will take 3 from 1 of the Adanto Vanguards to go to 14. Then on the second main, we will spend 2 mana to play Ajani's Pridemate. This is a 2/2 cat soldier. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on the Pridemate, and then we'll spend 1 more mana to play the Healer's Hawk, which is a 1/1 bird with flying and lifelink. And then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Mountain. Lightning Aggro will play the Mountain. Lightning Aggro will spend 4 mana to cast Banefire. It's a sorcery. It deals X damage to any target, and if it's 5 or more, it can't be countered and the damage can't be prevented. and we'll target the Ajani's Pridemate to deal it 3 damage. Pridemate dies. Now there are 2 instants or sorceries in the graveyard, so the Gitu Lava Runner is now a 2/2 and will attack with the Lava Runner for 2. United Assault takes 2 and goes to 10. And Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets an Ajani's Pridemate. United Assault will then attack with both the Adanto Vanguards and the Healer's Hawk. This will flip the Legion's Landing, turning it to Adanto the first 4. It is a legendary land that you can tap to add white to your mana pool and spend 2 and a white to create a 1/1 vampire creature token with lifelink. Lightning Aggro will block one of the Adanto Vanguards with the Runaway Steamkin. We'll take 4 from the remaining one to go to 10. United Assault will spend 4 life to keep one of the Vanguards alive, taking it to 6. And then we will spend 2 mana to play the Ajani's Pridemate. We probably should have done that before we attacked so that we could get the trigger off the Healer's Hawk, but that's a mistake that we've made. We'll gain 1 life from the Healer's Hawk to go back up to 7, and then we will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Gitu Lava Runner. Lightning Aggro will play the mountain, we'll tap, and play the Gitu Lava Runner, and then we will attack with the whole team for 8. United Assault will trade the Pridemate for a Lava Runner and take 6 to go to 1. Lava Runner dies, and Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Aggro untaps. United Aggro draws, gets a Healer's Hawk. United Aggro will attack with the whole team for 7 damage. Lightning Aggro takes 7 and goes to 3. United Assault will gain 1 life from the lifelink on the Healer's Hawk, and then we'll pay 1 mana to play a Healer's Hawk, and then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a mountain. Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. At the end of Lightning Aggro's turn, we'll use Adanto the First Fort to generate a 1/1 vampire with lifelink. United Assault will untap, draw, we'll get a Dauntless Bodyguard. United Assault will pay 1 mana to cast a Dauntless Bodyguard. It's a 2/1 human knight. As it enters the battlefield, choose another creature you control. You can sacrifice the bodyguard to give that creature indestructible until end of turn. We'll choose the Adanto Vanguard, and then we'll attack with the whole team. Lightning Aggro will block both of the Adanto Vanguards, putting the Runaway Steamkin on the bigger one, the Gitu Lava Runner on the one that's protected by the bodyguard, but we'll still take 3 damage from the 3 other creatures, and Lightning Aggro will perish. We'll be right back for some sideboarding. Lightning Aggro is going to remove the Wizard's Lightning and 2 Lava Coils for 3 Fiery Cannonades to see if we can get some board wipes on our opponent. And Lightning Aggro will choose to go first. United Assault will be removing 1 Hunted Witness and 2 Sky Marcher Aspirants for 3 Shield Mares, which are good against red creatures and blunts aggro decks fairly well due to its abilities. Lightning Aggro draws, gets an Experimental Frenzy, Mountain, Banefire, Fanatical Firebrand, Mountain, and Mountain. I think this is too low on action, so we're going to actually ship this back and go to 6. Now we get a Lightning Strike, Fire Cannonade, Wizard's Lightning, Fanatical Firebrand, Mountain, and Wizard's Lightning. This is a lot of removal, and we only have 1 mana, but I don't think we can really afford to go to 6, so we're going to keep this particular hand, and we will put the Wizard's Lightning on the bottom. United Assault draws 7. Gets a Shield Mare, Legion's Landing, Ajani's Pridemate, Plains, Veneration Marshal, Plains, and Leonin Vanguard. I think this is an okay first hand, so we will keep it. Lightning Aggro will begin with a Mountain. We'll tap the Mountain, we'll cast the Fanatical Firebrand, we'll attack with the Fanatical Firebrand for 1. United Assault takes 1 and goes to 19. And Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault will draw, we'll get a Plains, we'll play the Plains, we'll tap the Plains, we'll play a Legion's Landing, we'll get a 1/1 creature token with lifelink, and then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Mountain, we'll play the Mountain. Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a Sky Marcher Aspirant, we'll play a Plains, and then we will tap 2 mana to play the Ajani's Pridemate, and we will go to combat and attack with the 1/1 lifelinker. The Lightning Aggro will tap and sack the Fanatical Firebrand to deal 1 damage to the 1/1 lifelinker. Lifelinker dies, and then Lightning Aggro will tap 2 to cast Lightning Strike, targeting the Ajani's Pridemate. It's an instant, it deals 3 damage to any target. Pridemate dies, and that is the end of United Assault's turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Fiery Cannonade. Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a Plains. United Assault will play the Plains, and then we'll tap 3 mana, and we'll play the Shield Mare. It's a 2/3 horse. It can't be blocked by red creatures, and when it enters the battlefield or becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, will gain 3 life. We'll gain 3 life to go up to 22, and then United Assault will pass the turn. At the end of the turn, Lightning Aggro will tap the mountains and cast Lightning Strike, hitting the Shield Mare. United Assault will gain 3 life for it getting to be the target of a spell, and then the Shield Mare will die. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Fiery Cannonade. This is going terribly for Lightning Aggro. Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a Healer's Hawk. United Assault will tap 3 mana and play the Sky Marcher Aspirant, the Leonin Vanguard, which is a 1/1 cat soldier at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you control 3 or more creatures, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. We'll also play the Healer's Hawk, and then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws a mountain. We'll play the Mountain, and we will tap all 3 mana to play Fiery Cannonade. It deals 2 damage to each non-pirate creature. These are all not pirates, so they'll all die. Then Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a Pride of Conquerors. We'll play the Plains. We will tap 3 mana and play the Benelish Marshal, which is a 3/3 human knight. Other creatures you control get a +1/+1. And then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Runaway Steamkin, and we will spend 2 mana to play the Runaway Steamkin, and then Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets an Ajani's Pridemate. United Assault will attack with the Benelish Marshal for 3. Lightning Aggro takes 3 and goes to 17. United Assault will spend 2 mana to play another Ajani's Pridemate, and United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Wizard's Lightning. Lightning Aggro will spend 3 mana to cast Wizard's Lightning, targeting the Benelish Marshal, dealing it 3 damage. United Assault will spend 2 mana to cast Pride of the Conquerors. It's an instant, it has Ascend. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. If you have the City's Blessing, they would get +2/+2. But that makes the Marshal survive the Wizard's Lightning. The Runaway Steamkin gets a +1/+1 counter, and then Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a Plains. United Assault will attack with both the Pridemate and the Benelish Marshal for 6. Lightning Aggro will take 6 and go to 11. And then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets an Experimental Frenzy. Lightning Aggro will spend 3 mana and try casting Wizard Lightning on the Benelish Marshal again. This time, United Assault has no response and the Marshal will die. Runaway Steamkin will get a +1/+1 counter to go up to 3/3, and then we will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a History of Benalia. Will spend 3 mana and play History of Benalia. It's a saga. First and second, you'll get a 2/2 White Knight creature token with Vigilance, and the third, knights you control will get +2/+1 until end of turn. We'll create a 2/2 with Vigilance now, and then we will play a Plains, and United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Gitu Lava Runner, and Lightning Aggro is going to pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a Plains. United Assault will then trigger the second part of History of Benalia, making another 2/2. Before combat, Lightning Aggro will tap 3 mana and cast another Fiery Cannonade. This will increase the Runaway Steamkin to 3 +1/+1 counters. Cannonade will sweep the board, and that leaves United Assault with nothing to do, so they'll pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Shock. Lightning Aggro will spend 1 mana to play the Gitu Lava Runner, and then Because there are more than 2 instants or sorceries in the graveyard, it has +1/+1 in haste and will attack with the Runaway Steamkin and the Gitu Lava Runner for 6. United Assault takes 6 and goes to 19. Lightning Aggro will pull 3 mana off the Runaway Steamkin and have it floating. We'll spend 1 of the mana to shock United Assault's face. United Assault goes to 17. This puts a +1/+1 counter on Runaway Steamkin, and then we'll use the remaining 2 mana with these 2 manas to cast Experimental Frenzy. This is an enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library. At any time you may play the top card of your library. You can't play cards from your hand, and for 3 and a red you can destroy Experimental Frenzy. We'll take a look at this. It is a land. We'll play the land, and then Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault will draw. We'll get a Sky Marcher Aspirant. We'll tick up to 3. Knights we control will get +2/+1. There are no knights. And then we'll sacrifice the History of Benalia. We'll spend 1 mana to cast the Sky Marcher Aspirant, and United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro will peek at the top card. We'll untap. We'll draw to get a mountain. Lightning Aggro will peek at the top card. It's a Viashino Pyromancer. We will spend 2 mana to cast the Viashino Pyromancer. It is a 2/1 Viashino Wizard, and when it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. It's 2 damage to United Assault. United Assault will go to 15. Casting the spell will make the Runaway Steamkin a 3/3. We'll take a look at the card again. It's a mountain. We'll play the mountain. We'll take a look at the card again. It's a Fanatical Firebrand. We will spend 1 mana to cast the Fanatical Firebrand. That will put another counter on the Runaway Steamkin, and then we will tap and sack the Fanatical Firebrand to deal 1 damage to the Sky Marcher Aspirant. The Aspirant dies. We'll take a peek at the top of the deck. It's a Gitu Lava Runner. We'll spend 1 mana to cast the Gitu Lava Runner. We'll take a peek at the top of the deck. We'll spend 1 mana to cast the Fanatical Firebrand. All of these have haste. We'll attack with the Runaway Steamkin, the Gitu Lava Runner, the Gitu Lava Runner, and the Fanatical Firebrand for a total of 9 damage. United Assault takes 9 and goes to 6. We'll take one last peek at this card here. It's a Goblin Chainwhirler, and then Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a Benalish Marshal. United Assault will spend 3 mana and play the Benalish Marshal, and then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, puts the Goblin Chainwhirler in their hand. We'll look at the top card. It is a mountain. We'll play the mountain. We'll look at the top card. It's a Gitu Lava Runner. We'll spend 1 mana to cast a Gitu Lava Runner. We'll take a look at the top card. It's a Lightning Strike. We will spend 2 mana to cast a Lightning Strike targeting the Benalish Marshal. The Marshal dies. We'll take a look at the top card. It's a Viashino Pyromancer. We'll spend 2 mana to cast the Viashino Pyromancer, dealing 2 damage to United Assault. United Assault takes 2 and goes to 4. We'll take a look at the top card. It's a Runaway Steamkin. We don't have any more open mana. We don't really need it. We'll attack with everybody that can attack for the win. United Assault has nothing, and they will take a giant pile of damage and perish. We'll be right back for game 3. No sideboarding was needed. United Assault will go first. We'll draw 7. United Assault will draw a Healer's Hawk, Leonin Vanguard, Pride of Conquerors, Plains, and a Danto Vanguard. This is not a very good hand, however, we can actually make this function with 1 land, so we're going to try it, as bad of an idea as it might possibly be. Lightning Aggro draws, gets a mountain, shock, Lightning Strike, Runaway Steamkin, and mountain. It's not great, but we do have a Runaway Steamkin which does pretty good things, so we'll keep this hand. Turn 1, United Assault will play a Plains. We'll tap the Plains. We'll play a Healer's Hawk, and United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro draws, gets a Runaway Steamkin. We'll play a Mountain, and Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a Shield Mare. United Assault will attack with the Healer's Hawk for 1. We'll gain 1 life to go up to 21. Lightning Aggro will take 1 and go to 19. United Assault will tap 1 mana that they have and play another Healer's Hawk, and then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro will draw, we'll get a Wizard's Lightning, we'll play a Mountain, and then we'll tap 2, and we'll play a Runaway Steamkin, and then Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault will untap, draw, we'll get a Shield Mare. United Assault will tap 1 mana and play a Leonin Vanguard at the beginning of the turn. We're going to get 1 life to go up to 22. We'll attack with both Healer's Hawks, which can't be blocked. We'll get 2 more life to go up to 24. Lightning Aggro will take 2 and go down to 17. Then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a mountain. We'll play the mountain. We'll tap 2. We'll play a runaway steamkin. This puts a counter on the first runaway steamkin. And then we will spend 1 mana. And we will shock the Leonin Vanguard, which will put a counter on this runaway steamkin. And on this runaway steamkin, the Leonin Vanguard dies. And then we'll attack with our 3/3 runaway steamkin. United Assault will take 3 and go to 21. And then Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps. Draws, gets a Plains, will play the Plains. And then United Assault will attack with both Healer's Hawks for 2. We'll gain 2 life to go up to 23. Lightning Aggro will take 2 and go down to 15. On the second main phase, United Assault will tap 2 and play the Adonto Vanguard. And United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro will untap. Draw, we'll get a Fiery Cannonade. And then Lightning Aggro will play the Mountain. We'll spend 3 mana to cast Fiery Cannonade, which will put a counter on the Steamkin and the Steamkin, making them avoid death by Cannonade. United Assault will lose everything. We'll choose not to make the Vanguard indestructible. Lightning Aggro will attack for 7. United Assault will take 7 and go to 16. And Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a Plains, we'll play the Plains, we'll tap 3 mana and play a Shield Mare. We'll get 3 life to go back up to 19, and then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Mountain, we'll play the Mountain. Lightning Aggro will spend 3 mana to Wizard's Lightning, targeting the Shield Mare. This will put a counter on the Runaway Steamkin. United Assault will gain 3 life from the Mare's ability to go up to 22, and then the Shield Mare will die. Lightning Aggro will attack for 8. United Assault takes 8 and goes down to 14. And then Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a Healer's Hawk. United Assault will spend 3 mana and will play the Shield Mare. We'll gain 3 life to go up to 17. And then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets a Goblin Chain Whirler. Lightning Aggro will spend 3 mana to cast the Goblin Chain Whirler. It is a 3/3 Goblin Warrior with first strike. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. United Assault takes 1 to go to 16. The Shield Mare will take 1 to have 2 remaining health. Lightning Aggro will spend 1 more mana to shock the Shield Mare to finish it off. The Shield Mare will give United Assault 3 life and then die, taking United Assault up to 19. Then Lightning Aggro will attack with both Runaway Steamkins. United Assault will take 8 and go to 11. And Lightning Aggro will pass the turn. United Assault untaps, draws, gets a History of Benalia. United Assault will tap 3 mana and play the History of Benalia, getting it a 2/2 White Knight with Vigilance. And then United Assault will pass the turn. Lightning Aggro untaps, draws, gets an Experimental Frenzy. Lightning Aggro will spend 2 mana to cast Lightning Strike, targeting the 2/2. The 2/2 dies. And then Lightning Aggro will attack with everybody for lethal. United Assault has no blockers and can do nothing but perish. And that will end that. We can see that United Assault got mana screwed pretty heavily, while Lightning Aggro got in there with some of their best synergy cards. And so this series ends in favor of Lightning Aggro. Let me know what your thoughts were about the games and the sideboarding in the comments below if you have any experience with these decks, whether it's these decks directly out of the box or the actual meta decks as they were. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can hit subscribe. This was Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time where I pit these 2 decks up against the Face the Hydra challenge deck from Theros.